Here's another video that no one ever asked me to make. I'm in my garage. It's freezing. It is brutally cold outside. It's like the temperature in the garage is like 16 degrees Fahrenheit. I've got the door cracked because I'm trying to warm up the fan with its own heat. And I got this noisy little thing down here, which is a kerosene heater. So as soon as the car comes up to temperature, I'm gonna shut the garage door. I'm gonna continue to heat up the garage, and then I have to do something to Anne's car to fix her radio. Okay, I'm inside the car. It's not as noisy. I still have the heater running. So I want to just show you what I'm going to do. I'm not going to do a step-by-step how-to because there's way better quality content on the internet on how to do that. But basically, Anne's radio has died in our 2012 Toyota minivan, which we love. But it has no AM radio, and now the wireless call feature is not working very well, and Missouri has a law where you can't have your phone in your hand anymore. So I found a radio that I think should work. We'll see. It might be a little involved installing it, but I'll flip the camera around so you can see. Okay, so here is what the interior of a car that's, what, 12, 13 years old looks like. No touch screens, which is the way we prefer it, most of us. But, you know, this thing had a CD player, AM, FM, and it had Bluetooth for phone calls. What's also weird about this is there is this tiny little screen up here, which is our reverse camera, so that you don't accidentally back up over anything. And from what I've heard, this new radio has a backup camera option, but is difficult to work with the factory radio, so we're going to keep that most likely and just accept the fact that it's a tiny screen. So yeah, all of this whole dashboard has to come out. And then this is the radio that I bought, which is really weird because it's a no name, which isn't what I would normally do. But the video that I watched was so good, convinced me that this is the right thing. This is the brand. No idea. Meiauto. It's made in China. It is an Android Auto, or an Android operating system, but has wireless CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, and should be good. So let's wish me luck. It is, what time is it? It's 1:45. Let's see how long this takes to complete. All right, it's 2:10. Let's look at the progress. So all in all, it really isn't too bad. There's like 4 different pieces that you have to take off. They're like the climate controls and this little thing and these buttons on it, and then the gear selector cover. And then the radio is actually attached to the vents. And then there's a whole bunch of harnesses that all get plugged in from factory. And so I believe inside this box that we have harnesses that plug into the factory harnesses and then plug onto the back of the radio. So I have to reuse all of this bracket, take it off of here, take the factory radio out, and then we'll see how it all hooks up. So far, it's going as planned. This project has come to a complete halt, and I'm going to show you why. This is the factory head unit. And you can see that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 outlets on the back, or where the harnesses plug in from the factory radio. And this is the new head unit, which also has 5 plugs, but this plug is clearly different than this plug. All the other ones are the same, and they match up and plugged in just fine. And then this is a whole other spaghetti of other AV cables and stuff, but this is supposed to plug into this, and clearly that is incorrect. So now I get to deal with trying to talk to the people who make this radio. And I mentioned before, it's a Chinese company, and they were pretty responsive during the ordering process, but it's a shame too because it looks really nice, or it would have if it worked. Looks nice, doesn't function. So now we have to decide whether we're going to put the car back together with the old radio and try something else. So this is extremely disappointing. for sure. All right, I'm back in the cold garage. It's been 24 hours since I made that last video. Interestingly, I was complaining about I'm going to have to communicate with a company in China and they're probably going to be non-responsive. I actually got an email back when I asked them a question about this port that didn't match up. And they basically said, you don't need that port. You can just plug all the other ones in and leave that one off and it doesn't matter. So I just took their word for it and went and installed the radio. And the best I can tell, everything does work. We still had a problem with not having a manual that was in the box. I'm pretty sure it wasn't in the box when I opened it. But again, surprisingly, I got an email from them today with a PDF attachment that said, here's your manual for your radio. So we stayed out here last night, putting it all back together till about 10:30. And we were pleased that it was working, but there was a lot of little things that we didn't quite understand because we didn't have a manual. So I will flip the camera around so you can see what it looks like, and I think it turned out pretty good. Okay, I've just recorded this video in the car for the second time, and because my phone is connected to the Bluetooth, I have to do a voiceover. So this is showing you what the screen looks like and how that there's a radio and there's a clock, and it's got an Android operating system, which is cool. But the really thing that you really like is this app here, which will bring you to Apple CarPlay. So all your apps are available to you here. The screen's pretty responsive, probably not as responsive as you get in a factory radio, but it's really not bad. And all we really wanted to do was be able to use the phone and to use navigation and maps and stuff. So all in all, the screen looks really good, and I can't really complain because we spent all of maybe $450 on this thing. It comes with a little microphone that you can mount right there in front of the dash to help pick up on the audio. So, and then, like I said, the backup camera doesn't work really well, but we do have a couple of USB ports that we ran down into this part where you can charge the phone and we can do wired Apple CarPlay. And the little camera, backup camera that comes with the car is just right above the screen. So, you know, we won't use the big screen for backup, but we can still use the little screen. So all in all, I think that this was a pretty good experience, and I think it looks good. Makes it look like a modern radio, almost like a new Sienna. So pretty cool. Oh, yeah, and there's the tiny screen showing you where we have the backup camera. We're just going to keep using it like that for now. But all in all, it's a pretty positive experience. I would recommend this to somebody. We'll let you know if it turns out to be a dud, but not bad. We'll take it.